Yo, what it do, y'all? This is the channel where we'll teach you why scamming and everything fraudulent that we're being taught is not what you think it is. How the dark markets is changing the world. Let's hop right into it.
After Russ Ulbricht was pardoned for his double life sentence by President Trump, I noticed that there were a lot of people wondering why there was so much support for this guy who was a dark web drug dealer, or more specifically, ran a platform that allowed those online deals to take place. I wanted to share some things about
For those who know about this website, let's just round of applause. Salam alaikum. Thank you, Lord. Whatever you pray to, man. You gotta give way to people like this, boy.
these online black markets that he pioneered that you probably didn't know, which will hopefully bring about some common sense drug reform to this country and other ones. Now, first off, it is my personal belief that the government should not tell people what they can or can't put in their bodies. Whether we're talking about sugary sodas, birth control, HRT, or any other drug, it's your choice to use them, not Uncle Sam's. Now, you might say, well, what about public health? There's got to be some government oversight for that, otherwise, we'd all be living in a smoggy, toxic waste dump, right? But if public health was really the reason for putting drug peddlers behind bars, then you would think that every single fast food and soft drink executive would be locked up too, right? It's no secret that America has an obesity problem, and when you actually look at the numbers, there's over twice as many obesity related deaths in this country every year than there are fatal drug.
Yes. I'll be the first to tell you that it's so weird and bonkers that like people would rather criticize weed or drugs that really have like very minuscule over changes that get done in your body over time. You know what I'm saying? You're smoke. The worst it'll get is like your lungs give out on you and other things. We're talking about food, dog. Like, I remember people used to tell me food is not good when you get it from the chicken because they have emotions and there's all these things involved, but just fucking food. What you put in your body, what we eat. I tell you right now, them people in the wild, wild west, in the wilderness, like the giraffes and stuff, a giraffe don't ever gotta worry about a leaf that may have salmonella on it. Fuck, like you get what I mean? Like this some weird neurotechnical and food thing. I always wanted to see how food and tech could combine with one another, and now I'm seeing it, and I'm not liking it. It's like a big deep fake. It's worse than AI, in my opinion. Food and technology is worse than AI in general because this is what we indigest. You know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna do if we don't know what technology does to our food? Not even how to put technology in place to help our food. What technology does to our food? If we don't know that, then maybe we do open up a darker side to the food game and try to explore it. That's all I'm saying. I ain't complaining. Think of me as the concierge to crime. You got to think both ways. The gray area is always the best area to be in.
Overdoses. And mind you, that according to the CDC, over 4% of those overdoses are people intentionally removing themselves from society. But I guess you could argue that some obese people purposefully eat themselves to death too. I'm sure someone out there has punched their own ticket by eating 3 Baconators and a large shake all at once from Wendy's. But the really staggering figure to look at here with these drug overdoses is that apparently over 92% of them are unintentional, which is where I think the biggest opportunity for drug reform really is. Legal drugs like nicotine and alcohol are clearly labeled with the concentration of their active ingredients, so if you were to buy a bottle of whiskey, you could clearly see what the alcohol by volume is, or the proof, which is just double the alcohol by volume. And whether you're a hardcore alcoholic or you're just looking to get drunk on the weekends, you can figure out what the exact amount you need to use is to get the feeling you want without dying. But it's a lot harder to drink responsibly, as the commercials say, if you had to guess how strong your drinks were just from the taste of them. And that's the reason that so many people are overdosing. There's usually no reliable way for an everyday person to tell how strong the drugs they bought off the street are without actually doing them, or even knowing that they actually got the drug that they paid.
Nah, that's an interesting take. On yo, that's an interesting that. All right, I love videos like this where they this is why we have this channel. Now, what I'll say is the dark market could fulfill an area in which people have more options to pick and find and select which one makes them feel the same, so they don't have to constantly worry about shopping on the actual market. They actually could go to a physician or someone who can get them the product and ask for the specific, not even medication, but feeling that they're trying to get. So I like this video because it flirts with the idea that you do not need a license anymore to do anything. You kind of just need to understand what you're doing and have a maybe an artificial partner or someone with the expertise necessary to fulfill on the promises you're aiming to make, cater to the audience or industry you're in. That's a beautiful take, Go.
Paid for. There's been countless cases where a person buys cocaine that's laced with fentanyl, two completely different drugs with vastly different effective doses, and they end up ODing and dying from a drug they didn't even want. Stuff like that would never happen if narcotics were legal and quality controlled, like alcohol and nicotine are.
I forgot what place is it. It's some I'm not gonna butcher it, but somewhere all the way near Australia or somewhere in that vicinity, right? They have a park where you could literally do anything. I don't know how TOS YouTube is, so I'm not gonna say what you can or can't do, but anything. You just can't do it outside of the park. So like when people walk by the park, dude, you can go stop in, whatever the case may be, come out. The only thing I don't know how it reflects is the community. Like it promotes it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't showcase the reverse side, which is like bums sleeping on top of each other because they're too high to function. Like I don't think you want that. We have to come to a clear medium on drugs because drugs aren't bad. Addiction is bad, but drugs are something we need to kind of regulate who we are. That's why we have mental illnesses, because sometimes our composition, our drug composition isn't compounding. You get what I mean? And then it starts to generate a new DNA. It's deeper. It's way deeper than what we see on surface sometimes. I'm not in the medical field, but I know my body. So I might as well be someone inside the medical niche, not the field itself. I could probably navigate someone. Mom was a nurse, stepmom was HHA, and my pops was in the HHA as well. So like hospitality is something you gotta be good at naturally, and that's something I was good at. But this is a good take, dog. This is a great take.
And this is an issue that people in the hidden marketplaces scene are well aware of, which is why, if you visit dark web forums like Dread, there's a huge push for promoting knowledge around harm reduction. As the name implies, these are methods that drug users can employ to reduce the harmful side effects from these dangerous substances, and processes for testing their own drugs to make sure that they actually contain what they paid for. There's
Yeah.
also vendor reviews connected to this stuff, so if a particular person is selling a bad product or they're scamming or something like that, it's going to be found out, and that vendor is going to be ostracized, at least in this corner of the dark web.
So you know what's crazy? This is what I'm gonna do. Cause I live in California and this is a fun project, right? I'm gonna go around every dispensary. I promise y'all, cause I'm tired of the way y'all selling out here in California. Y'all gonna hate me, boy. And I'm bringing everybody to y'all location if it's not 100% weed. I see fentanyl, you going down, bruh. Boys is tired of smoking some shit that's different from the last week. And people don't even know what y'all doing. That spray weed. I'm from New York. Niggas spray they weed. Nah, I don't think Cali niggas are even aware that shit is around. Cause y'all started with cannabis, y'all the home, y'all the mecca of cannabis. So I don't think y'all even get down like that. Like some of the chemicals in y'all weed isn't legal in other states, so I don't think y'all will put into y'all head that people are lacing y'all. So we gonna find out. Like, comment, and subscribe, because people like me and the dark web are gonna change the world. We gonna expose a lot of things that y'all thought was true, but ain't true.